Edmonton's Archbishop says Pope Francis made it clear to bishops that an apology for the role the Roman Catholic Church played in the residential school system needs to be followed up with concrete action, especially at the local level. Archbishop Richard Smith was part of last week's delegation to the Vatican, which included several Indigenous leaders. He says the Pope's apology was a milestone and is part of a springboard for reconciliation. The Indigenous groups involved in the delegation also requested the Church provide reparations, return artifacts, and share any documents about residential schools. Well, joining us now to tell us what this apology means to Indigenous peoples in Canada is Mr. Bruce Allan, educator and support worker at the Indian Residential School Survivors Society. Sir, welcome to Forum Daily.
Good afternoon.
Now, the first residential school in Canada was opened in 1831, sir. So how has this long-awaited apology impacted Indigenous communities after over a century and a half of abuse at these facilities?
Yes, I think that the Pope had several opportunities to apologize over the years. When you're looking at the compensation processes that Canada had set up in the early 2000s, and the Prime Minister Harper apologized on behalf of Canada, there was an opportunity for the Church to apologize starting then. And when TRC released its report as well, there was more opportunities for them to make an apology along with Canada. And when the unmarked graves came out from Kamloops, again, another opportunity that was missed. And so a lot of our survivors there's a wide range of reactions to the apology itself.
As you say, there are so many opportunities for the Pope to apologize over the past few years. So what sort of responses have you heard back from residential school survivors themselves?
Working with the Indian Residential School Survivors Society, there's a spectrum of reactions to the apology. A lot of the elders or survivors, accept the apology, tearful apology, I guess, for them. And the other side of it is, it's not enough. They want to see more. They want to see more action to more than just the words. So that's, you get that range. There's anger, there's sadness, and impatience, and they want to see more things happen. They want to see the Church to be more accountable, more responsible, taking responsibility for those unmarked graves that are continuing to be uncovered across Canada with the residential schools.
As you say, there's a lot that still needs to be done. We know there are also calls for concrete action following this apology. So what kind of steps does the Roman Catholic Church need to take next?
As it was mentioned earlier, the returning of documents or releasing documents for healing. I know over the years that survivors, some survivors weren't listened to. The records had said that they didn't attend the residential schools, even though they did. There's records missing there. A lot of it would have to do with healing. The documents would be one, artifacts being returned would be another. And it was probably mentioned that some of these artifacts were taken in the 1920s, but at that time it was illegal for our people to practice our culture, and part of our culture is gift giving. So for the Catholic Church to say that we gifted these artifacts would be really hard to believe.
All right, Mr. Allan, what are you keeping your eyes on as the situation develops? Just a quick 20 seconds left here.
Just the release of the documents, and when the Pope does come to Canada, a more heartfelt an apology to the First Nations survivors of residential schools, and also to the intergenerational survivors who continue to feel the effects of the residential schools today.
All right, Mr. Allan, thank you again for joining us today and sharing this with our viewers.
You're welcome.